All right, so let's start on our backs, you guys. You'll want your block close by, and you might want to flip your head around to the center just so you can stretch your arms overhead. And you might want your head and neck support so you can have that there too. So as you come down onto your back into constructive rest pose, so your legs are bent and your feet are a little bit wide with the knees leaning in, if that feels okay to you, of course. And just begin by getting grounded. So feeling all the places where you are making contact with the floor. And feeling your toes, your feet, the balls and heels of your feet. Noticing where your hands are resting. And checking in with how you're feeling this morning in general. How you're feeling physically. How you're feeling mentally and emotionally. So embodying this position right now, being fully present in your body. And noticing in particular just how your sacrum and pelvis feel against the floor here. Noticing how it feels side to side. You might even place your hands on your hips and just kind of have your hands there feeling, the difference between the two sides, if any. And as you breathe in and out, you might begin to widen the inhale and lengthen your exhale. So you could blow out through pursed lips, or you could take a sigh, just letting everything out. So you're not trying to breathe into any particular area of your body or feel it in different areas. You're just trying to feel that your breath is three-dimensional around your whole torso. Good. One more breath like that. And you can leave your hands there if it feels okay, but let's take the knees parallel now. So they are the same distance as your feet apart. And we'll start to, if you imagine that you have back pockets on your pants, and you gently want to press down your right back pocket. Like if you had something in there, like a piece of candy or something, you were crushing it down. And then crush down the left side, the left pocket. And keep going like that. So it's kind of like a pelvic clock exercise that we do, where it's a small movement. Let's see, hi Marlene. Good. So you're moving your pelvis side to side, imagining, right, that you're pressing down the back pocket of one side and then the other side. Now, if you do this, and maybe you can see your knees a little bit, you kind of glance toward them, tuck your chin a little bit. And can you make one of the knees, so when you press down the right back pocket, your left knee is driving forward a little bit. So it just changes it a little bit. And then when you press down the left pocket, the right knee moves forward in space, like toward the foot. Keep breathing. And it's still gentle and small. You're not forcing things. Just kind of noticing the rotation of your pelvis and a subtle, small movement, not very big. And now let's just come to neutral, come to the center. And we're going to take both knees down to the right onto the floor, but we're going to stack them on top of one another. Okay, so adjust yourself so you're almost on your side a little bit, but the back of your head is on your blanket or the floor. And get those knees stacked right on top of one another. And let's take your left arm to stretch out to the left and your right arm to stretch out to the right. So you're in a twist. And breathe here for a moment. And most of you will want to bring your knees a little bit higher up towards your belly. So it's almost like they're straight out from the hips, 90-degree angle. I had my ankles straight down from my knees. So Dolores, even further up. Yeah. Good, and keep breathing. And if it hurts your left shoulder, just do something else with it. Bring them way up to here. Yeah, and your feet. Yes, yes, yeah, there you go. Good, and now look at your knees for a moment instead of the ceiling. And notice, like, are your knees right on top of one another? And yeah, your left shoulder might have to come off the floor more to do that. Okay? And now let's take your left hand to your left ribs. Yeah. Ribs, yeah, so up higher, Karn. Yeah, the bones of your ribs, and breathe. And now can you let your left knee drive forward ahead of the right, and then rock it back. And then let it drive forward and rock it back. And you might feel like you really want your blanket below your head and neck. So let's make sure to put that. Your feet stay the same. It's just your knee. Yeah, just your knee. And notice how the ribs are moving with this. Go slowly and just feel this rotation. So notice as the knee falls back, the left ribs probably glide closer to the floor on the left. One more. And then let's just open up that left arm again and take your nose toward the ceiling, or you can even let the head drift toward the left if you want to. And breathe. Creating space through your ribs with your breath. And now on your next exhale, we'll come onto our back for a moment with the knees bent. Noticing the two sides, take a breath in and out. Good. And then set yourself up on the other side. So your knees come over to the left, stacked. I have mine at a 90-degree angle. I find that works best. So they're just coming straight up from my hips and my ankles straight down. And at first, they're just going to be in a twist. So your right arm might be off the floor, your head looking toward the ceiling, noticing how this side feels. Again, if you have a shoulder injury, modify with your right shoulder how you need to. And breathing here. Softening through your jaw. And now let's take the right hand to the right ribs and take your head so you can see your knees. And just start that little rocking motion where the knee slides forward, the top knee slides forward from the bottom knee, and then it slides back. You're just noticing what's happening through your ribs as you do that. Good. And then after the next one, you could stack the knees and stretch the arm out again if you want to. Maybe even looking toward the ceiling or toward the right a little bit. And see if you can sense that the knees are stacked right on top of one another. And now let's exhale, coming onto your back with your knees bent. We're going to grab a block and place it between your knees. And we'll lift the feet up off the floor. Okay. Arms will be out to the sides. Good. Now just give a little squeeze to the block and notice your core turning on just to hold the knees here. Your ankles are below your knees. and your knees are stacked over your hips. Good. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Now, as you take your next inhale, let's try to take the knees down toward the right. And as you do that, can you look at your knees and see that they're staying stacked? And then exhale, bring the knees back up to center. So you're not going all the way to the floor just yet. And then inhale, take the knees down to the left. And as you do that, you'll notice you have to slide the right knee forward to keep them stacked. And then exhale back up to the center using your core. Doing this a few times, you can go as far down as you want to the side. Just make sure you have the control. And our focus right now is on noticing the knees, right? So feeling that top knee slide forward a little bit to keep them stacked there. Good, and keep breathing. Just let your neck relax. So you're just looking with your eyes, they're turning the head to see. And if your shoulder has to come way up off the floor, don't go as far down to the side, right? It's okay if it comes a little off, but let's see if we can keep the control. You might need to use your bottom arm. So when you go to the right hand could be palm down to just provide a little stability, right? To come back up. Now, if you want to, this is going to add load. So only if it feels okay, you can start going closer to the floor. And you could also try to straighten the top leg when you go down to one side and kick through the heel. And then you can bend it as it comes back up. And then when you go to the other side, same thing. You're sliding the knee forward, straighten the leg, kick through the heel. You can use that bottom arm for support and stability to rise yourself or lift yourself back up. Using that exhale. And the bottom foot is just floating. Good, you guys. And then when you're done, you can do a couple more, you can be finished. You'll come to center. You can remove your block and give the knees a hug. And then either rock yourself up or roll to the side and come up. And if you're not facing the center, you might flip around and face the center. We're going to sit at the backs of our mats with our legs straight out in front. Okay. And we're going to do a little hip walk. We haven't done this in a while. Like you're walking forward, trying to keep your legs straight. And the butt is going forward as you go. Try to get all the way up if you can. And you can use your arms. Your arms can help you here, right? So you can feel that rotation. And then try to walk backwards. Keep breathing. I like the butt walk. Right? And even you might even try to exaggerate the arms, do a little pull. See what feels natural. Don't think about it, okay? Because that'll mess you up. It already messed me up. There we go. Just feel the rotation happening through your spine. And there's rotation that happens through our spine, through our torso when we walk too. We might not look like this when we're walking, but there's still a rotation happening when you walk or run or hike. You want to have mobility. Okay, next time you come to the back, we'll pause, okay? And you can put your hands behind you for a moment and inhale, just open up through the chest. And then as you exhale, let's bend the knees with the feet wide. And start to windshield wiper or side swivel seat. You can adjust your body if you don't have enough space. You can move around. You might want to twist and reach when you get to one side. So again, finding rotation through the whole body, really, through our hips, all through our spine, including the neck. Your shoulders, your ankles, knees. Keep breathing. Good. And when you feel complete with that movement, we'll come into a child's pose, but a really active one. So we'll sit back toward the heels if it feels okay. Your toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever feels better. And stretch the arms forward, but keep the chest lifted. Keep the chest and the head lifted like this. Yeah. Okay. And plant the hands and stretch the hips back, getting long through the torso. Have your chest as high as your shoulders. So lift it up, everybody, and look forward like you're going to pounce. Like, boom, I'm going to go like this. Okay. And now I'm going to walk my hands to the right. And now really plant them so you get some traction. Now let your head fall between the arms a little bit, but keep the arms straight. Might have to lift the hips up in order to stay active. Good. And now let's turn the torso so that you look under your left arm. Keep breathing. And then turn it so you look under your right arm. Good. And now let's walk the hands to the center and over to the left. Same thing. First, just find some traction. And then slowly letting the head come down toward between the arms. Keep breathing. Good. And then looking under the right arm and lift the chest up so it's really active. You're not collapsed. And then look under the left arm. The chest rotating. Good. And then let's come back to the center. And rise up onto hands and knees. So you're in a neutral tabletop position. Protract the shoulder blades. Inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to take the right arm and it's going to pull back like a row toward the ribs, but let the ribs open to the right. Good. And then inhale, come back down and exhale left, same thing. If you're rotating through, you can rotate through the hips and through the torso. Okay, anything can move here. Getting that shoulder back. Yeah, nice, you guys. Keep going. And think hands, you guys, some of you are taking your arm open. Think hand, fist coming to low ribs. Yeah, that's it. Good. Now, next time you come down, let's go back to downward facing dog. Lifting the knees off the floor. Move around however you'd like to here. Breathing. Okay. Following your breath in and following your breath out. Adho Mukha Shavasana. Downward facing dog. And then as you're ready, let's bend the right knee and let the hips twist so that you look underneath your left arm with your, not just your head, but your torso. And then let's inhale through the center and exhale, bend the left knee and look under the right. So really letting the hips twist and switch again. And now when you go, let's go to the left side, the left knee bends and step it forward a step. And then inhale, and as you exhale, step the right leg forward and twist a little bit to look under the left. And repeat, left leg steps forward. Look under the right a little bit, then right leg. Until you get up to the front. And then when you get there, let's inhale, reach the spine forward. Your hands might come above your knees, get really long here. Good. And exhale, let's bend the knees, sitting into the heels. And inhale, reach the arms up. You can bring the palms together if you'd like. Exhale, bringing the hands to the center and down. And just pausing here, your hands could stay in front of your chest or they could come at your sides, whatever you prefer. Just letting your shoulder blades relax, your shoulder and neck relax. And maybe wiggle your toes, and eyes can be open or closed. Let's just feel your breath here and see if you can get a sense of groundedness here too. This through your feet. Noticing the two sides of your body. Good. And when you're ready, let's open eyes if they're closed and just find your blocks so that you have them up toward the front of your mat. Good. You might want your knee padding too, so you can either set that up or just have it ready. We won't need it this round, but next time. Okay, so feet are parallel, and then when you're ready, we'll inhale, reach it up. And exhale to fold down towards your blocks or your legs or the floor. And then inhale, extending your spine forward. And as you exhale, let's bend the knees, put the hands on the floor and come into plank pose. Good. And really protract the shoulder blades, engage the glutes. Good, you guys tuck the tail under. That's it, keep tucking it under. You'll get your core engaged there, your glutes engaged, keep breathing. Good, feel like you're sliding your armpits back towards your hips. Good, and then from here, you can drop to knees and lower down to your belly. And inhale, come up into Sphinx pose. Good. As you exhale, let's twist, reaching left arm forward, twisting around to look toward the right. And then inhale back to center. Right arm moves forward, twisting around. Good. Inhale back to center. And then exhale, lowering down. Let's place hands for a push-up, roll shoulder blades down your back. And from here, draw your core in first and press yourself up to plank or knees down plank. Good. And then we're going to drop to knees. I forgot we are going to need our blanket for this. So you can drop to your knees and get your blanket and just make sure you got space in front of you. So you see how I just rolled my my mat back a little bit. At home, if you're on carpet, you'll need something that slides on carpet, like plastic bags or Tupperware containers. On a floor, you'll just use your blanket. On a wood floor, or tile. Okay. What we're going to do is we'll get that blanket out in front. Yeah, on the floor, it's going to slide. Okay. And then we'll walk our knees back, and take your time, you guys, to set up, but I would just want to get it showing first. So I'm going to walk my knees back and see how I'm coming into a tucked tail position. So I'm in a knees down plank, right? I can already feel my core turn on because my abs are really sore right now, but so this is going to be hard for me, but I'm going to try it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is inhale. See how I'm protracting my shoulder blades. I'm not sinking like this, right? I'm up, my core is engaged. I'm going to see, could I slide forward? I might need to inhale forward, and then I'm going to see, could I slide it back? Right? Yes. See how hard that is? It's like an ab roller, if you've ever seen those ab roller things. So you might start with just getting your tail tucked. First of all, just holding this and seeing, maybe I could just slide it an inch forward and an inch back. Right? And then maybe I could go a little further. You're trying not to do it with momentum so much, but more with core strength. Keep the tail tucked. So if you find that you're getting into this, booty up, then I'm not using my core and I'm going to compress my low back. Okay, so it might just be stay right where you are working on that. The other thing that you might find you have to do is this. Do you see how my hips just went up to get it back? Hey, that's okay, actually, because I didn't go into my low back and I just felt what was needed to bring it back. That makes sense? Yeah, so let yourself do that if that's what's necessary to get it back. Is kind of playing around with it. Okay, getting tight in your neck at all? Okay, let your neck, I thought you were, Carrie. Yeah, let your jaw relax a little bit. Don't force it. And then let's let it go. Let's get that out of there and stretch yourself back. You could go to Sphinx. You could go, I'm going to go to down dog, but you could go to Sphinx or Cobra if you want to stretch out your belly a little bit. You could go to child's pose. Take a sigh wherever you've chosen to be. Good. Now from here, you're going to inhale, bend the knees if you're in down dog, and exhale, we're going to step the right leg forward and drop the left knee down to your blanket. You'll want your block up here in the front. You're going to rise up to a half kneel now. So get that back knee down, then we're going to inhale, tuck the hip under. It'll stretch through the back hip. And then we'll inhale, bring the arms up in front at shoulder height. That's it. And now as you exhale, like you're pulling a bow and arrow back, but we're going to pull it back toward the ribs rather than the ear. And let your chest turn. It can go either side because we're going to do both. Okay, so inhale to center and then exhale, go to the other side, and let both your hips and your torso move as much as they want to. Okay, so you're feeling how the hips and pelvis move with the rib cage. We're not trying to isolate. And you're feeling, hopefully, you're feeling the steadiness of your feet, the groundedness here. So if you're not, just check in with your feet, how they're helping support you. And although the hips might move and the knee might move forward and back a little bit, right? Forward and back. Is your knee moving in and out? Could you try to get your knee to stabilize? Good. Now, the next time you pull the left arm back, let's put the forearm down on the right thigh, stay turned. You might want to move the lower left leg around too. Just kind of flip it back behind you. And it's like we're in a side angle pose with the back knee down. Keep breathing and stretch that left arm however you want to. Okay, whatever feels good. Front knee is stable, right? Hopefully moving toward the center of the foot. And are you getting tight around the right neck and shoulder? Can you release there? Lift out of that bottom right shoulder. Good. And now as you exhale, we're going to slowly bring the left arm down and turn toward the front again. We'll bring our hands down to the floor. Inhale, step to plank pose. If you want to, you can go through a vinyasa here. You can exhale, lower down, dropping knees. Inhale, cobra or sphinx pose. Exhale, lower. Do a core engaged push-up. Shoulder blades down back, core draws in, and then back to your downward dog. Taking a sigh there. And then inhale, bending the knees, and exhale, left knee, foot comes forward, dropping back knee to blanket. Inhale, rise up to half kneel, tucking the tail. And now check out your front knee right over the ankle for this pose and staying stabilized, knee lined up with center of foot. Okay, and we'll inhale, arms up, and we'll start our bow and arrow toward the rib cage, noticing how it feels on this side, stabilizing with your lower body. And noticing that front knee might move slightly forward and back as the left hip moves slightly forward and back, but I'm trying to reduce motion in and out with that knee. And now next time you open to the right, let's place the left forearm on the thigh. You can adjust the feet. You can move that back lower leg to stabilize if you'd like, and do what you want with the right arm. Trying to feel spacious through your left neck and shoulder area so you're not collapsing down onto it. And to do that, you might just need to push into the right hip. Push that right hip out to the side. Good. Keep breathing. And now as you exhale, we'll let that right arm come down, facing the front again, letting that right lower leg rotate back, and place the hands down. Inhale, lift the back knee up, and exhale, step it forward. Inhale to reach the chest forward. Good. Exhale, bend the knees. And inhale, let's rise up. And this time we're going to exhale, fold right back down. Taking your time here. Inhale, reach the chest forward. And exhale, we're going to step the left knee back down onto that blanket. Inhale, rising up, tucking the tail again. Good. You'll need your block this time. Okay, we're going to bring the arms up like the bow and arrow. Okay, and just start that same motion we just did. Keep breathing. Now this time, as we do this, I'm going to start to hinge at the hip and reach forward and down diagonally. And then I'm going to, next time my left arm comes forward, just place it on the block. Right hand is pulling back. I'm going to twist open, left hand down, right arm up towards ceiling now. Now you might want your hand on the floor for this version and the block for the next. So if it feels like you don't have enough space, just put your hand on the floor instead. And so feeling that rotation to the right, inhale and exhale. And now using the block, lifting the left knee off the floor, staying in the rotation. Good. Now you can do whatever feels best on your neck. And if your right shoulder bothers you, you can bring that to your hip, okay? So keep working here, inhale. Keep lifting and engaging the back leg, exhale. Good. Inhale again. Now exhale, could you start to straighten the front leg a little or a lot? You might feel like you have to walk the back foot forward a little bit, that's fine. Pressing down through the ball of the front big toe. You might want to look down at your hand if your neck is getting jacked up or anything, just taking care of that. Keep breathing. Now, it might be fun, you can decide if you want to try it, just bending and straightening the back leg. And you might put your hand on your hip for this one as you do that. And just kind of notice how the hips rotate a little bit, or rotation through the torso even a little bit as you go through this, right? How does your torso want to rotate and change as you bend and straighten the back leg? Now, if this hurts your back knee when you do it, you're not going to be doing that, okay? Good. Next time you get it straight, let's face the front leg. And you can put both hands down. You could use your second block if you want. And just pause here for a moment, folded. Your front knee could be very bent or very straight or in between. Breathing, let your neck relax. And now from here, let's bend the front knee, hands to floor, downward facing dog. Just let your neck relax. You might move it side to side a little bit. And then inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, left knee steps forward or left foot steps forward, right knee to blanket. Inhale, rise up. Excuse me, losing my voice. Okay, inhale, tuck the tail, and then begin your rows. So just keep breathing, right? Noticing the rotation. And then you can start to hinge at the hip as you do this, coming forward. We're gonna come to right hand to floor as left hand pulls back, and then you twist open, reaching up. Your right hand can also be on your block. Keep breathing. Head can look wherever it feels best. Rolling right upper arm bone back. And then from here, you can put your right hand on a block if it's not already, staying twisted open, lifting the back knee if that feels okay. You might feel that you want to look down at this point with the head and neck, feeling the strength of your legs. Good. Now from here, maybe straightening the front leg a little bit or a lot. You might need to walk the back foot in a little bit to do that. And let's see, Ellie, left hand down, right hand up. There you go. You can let that back heel come up if it feels okay. Yeah, straight back. Good. Now from here, exhale, bending and straightening the back leg, only if it feels okay on that back knee. And you might notice that your torso wants to change. Let's go ahead and put the left hand on the left hip. I think we did that for the other side. Might help you to realize the rotation motion a little more. Good. And then from here, you could let yourself fold over the front leg. Feel free to adjust your legs however you want. Both legs straight or straight-ish. You can use your second block. Good, yes. You might feel like stepping that back leg closer to the front feels a lot better. So just play around with that. Good, you guys. We want to, in yoga, yes, we're exploring just the right amounts of stress on our bodies, right, to create change. So we're not trying to struggle a whole bunch, right? We're not trying to make this super hard. We're trying to make it just hard enough for you today. So you want to adjust for your own body. Notice how your breath is doing. Good. And now from here, you can bend that front knee and inhale, stepping to plank pose, placing hands on the floor. And then decide you can go to child's pose, down dog, or go through a vinyasa if you prefer. All right, again, choosing what your body needs and trying to listen to that. If our bodies have too much stress, just like our emotional system, our mental and emotional state, then we get overwhelmed and the change doesn't happen, right? But if we provide just enough challenge, then that's when change can happen. That's when adaptation can happen. And keep breathing wherever you are. Can you find that 360-degree breath? And then let's come down to hands and knees, and we'll move our blankets out of the way, and we'll need both blocks. Okay. I'm going to put a block below our left hand and our right knee. So it's a really wonky tabletop. Okay, one hip will be higher than the other, and one shoulder will be higher than the other. Yeah. And then from here, this cat and cow. And notice how this feels in your body. And you notice the diagonal lines from shoulder to hip on both sides. So you've got like more space in the roundedness between the right shoulder and the left hip. Now, next time you pass through the center, let's stay in neutral here. Inhale and exhale. Would it be possible to hover the right hand and the left knee off the floor? Good, and just get everything feeling even in the hips and shoulder. Yeah, you might use your back toe as a little kickstand. That's fine. Yeah, good, and then take a rest. Okay, just notice, were you trying to do it with your neck, your jaw, anywhere else where you tend to clench? Okay, we're gonna try it again. Okay, so we'll be here, inhale, and then exhale, hovering. And then perhaps you can take your right arm forward and your left leg back, maybe not. So you can always put that kickstand down with the right toes or the whole or one of your limbs. Okay, keep breathing. Feel that core connection running diagonally across on both sides. Keep breathing. Good. And then coming down, hand and knee down, and then just come back onto the knees for a moment so you can step the right foot forward. Okay. Good. And then grab your blocks. Let's put them up front for a moment. We're going to inhale, lift the back knee off the floor. And exhale, place the back heel down. So step it in, feet are like on 2 tracks, and then standing up. Good. Okay, now get yourself organized here. So feet hips distance apart. Good. Both heels grounded. All right, so however you need your feet to be for that. Good. And then inhale, arms up in front. Both legs are straight to start. Exhale, bow and arrow. Same thing we did on the ground. Inhale forward. Exhale, twist. Letting the hips rotate too. We're not trying to isolate our thoracic spine here. We're letting everything move, okay? And now, just like we did on the floor, let's try to hinge as we do this. Now you're gonna find a place where you're gonna need to bend that right knee, okay? So that's okay. Let the right knee bend a little bit as needed. And then we're gonna find the left block, probably on the highest height would work the best for most people. You can take it lower if you want. That right hand rows back like the bow and arrow to your ribs, and you're opening your chest to the side. Now you can look down if you want. Good. Your arm can stay here on your ribs, or your hand can, or it can reach toward the ceiling if you want. See how it feels on the shoulder. Good. So revolved triangle pose, pressing down through the ball of the right big toe, and just feeling the opening through your spine. So let's see, your left hand is down and your right arm is up. Yeah, there you go. That might feel better, or it might not. It might be harder. Yeah, keep breathing. Good. Yes. Turn the heat down. Yes. Good. Keep breathing there. Revolved triangle pose is one of the poses I love to hate. And now on your next exhale, you're gonna just fold toward that front leg. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, hang on. Sometimes this thing doesn't work. Good, just feeling the 3 corners of both feet pressing down. There we go. Okay, good. Keep your breath going. Now, can we come back to that revolved triangle because I forgot something there? So opening it back up. Now, as you're here, can you cat and cow? Yeah, it might just be really small. I just want you to notice. You might bring the hand down for that. I see a lot of you did that. It might feel better to your hip. So you're still opening the chest to the side as you're doing it. Yeah, that's it. Good. Okay, now closing. Good. We're gonna step that back leg back, and we're gonna bring our right forearm to our right thigh for side angle pose. So now we're gonna rotate to the left, and you might need to adjust the feet a lot by walking the right foot forward to the long edge of your mat. You might do that. And now your left arm could be on your hip or it could reach along your ear. See what you prefer. Good. Just noticing the rotation on this side. Good. Bottom knee stable. And see if you can rise up so you're not having to collapse so much, but stay a little lifted. Yeah, that's it. And if you bring this foot right there, I think it'll feel better. I'll be able to open up more. Yeah, see that? Yeah, right. So if you walk that right foot closer to the long edge of your mat, it's just more friendly to the hips, allows for more expansion. Good. Now from here, you guys, you can either stay here or you can try half moon pose. So you could bring your hand to your hip, look at your front foot, find your block, put your hand on your block, and see if you can lift that back leg off the floor. Good. Keep breathing. Yeah, and you can also do warrior 3 if you prefer, right? So you could also have both hands on blocks instead of being open to the side. That feels better to you. Good. One more breath in whatever you've chosen. And then let's exhale, bend the front knee, look down at your hands, place the back foot back down, square your chest to your front leg, okay? And step yourself back to your downward dog, or you can do a vinyasa or child's pose. And take a few breaths there, noticing the two sides of your body. Breathing in, breathing out. Nice work, everybody. Good. And then from here, let's come down to knees. Now we're going to put our right hand on our block and our left knee. Right? That's the opposite of what we did last time. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Okay. I think so too. All right. And then we'll start cat and cowing when you're ready. And so our awareness, can we bring your awareness, or can you bring your awareness to the diagonal lines from shoulder to hip, like a giant X on both sides, right? Just the connection between these. And then coming through neutral, whenever you're ready, protract the shoulder blades and see if you can hover the knee and the hand off the floor. You can always use that left toe as a kickstand. I keep breathing. Again, noticing the diagonal lines, try not to clench anywhere. And then come down for a break. Right? Okay, and then we'll go for it again. Okay, so we'll try to hover. Some people might also try to extend arm forward, leg back. You could try it. Diagonal lines of core strength, right? Not your neck. Keep breathing. Feel like if you're doing the arm and leg, can you reach them forward and back strong, like you've got a rope attached to each to keep you stable. Good. And then coming down, good, place the knee down so that we can get that left leg. So I just come up onto my knees for a moment and step my left foot forward. And from here, we're coming into legs straight or straight-ish, walking that back foot in so you can put the heel down, bending the front knee to rise. Good, so back heel is down on this one. Yeah, just get stable so that your hips can face forward. Inhale, arms up, and then exhale, bow and arrow to the ribs. All right, and just keep going, keep breathing side to side. And we're letting everything move. Sometimes we isolate the thoracic spine, but today we're just noticing connections through whole spine and also through hips. Right, and then we'll start to hinge. Okay, so we'll start to hinge forward with control, still rotating, and finding that right hand probably on a tall block. Some of you that are more flexy might do a medium, but it's a big stretch here, right? And so your left ribs rotate open with that row, and your hand can stay on your hip or it can reach up. You're pressing down through the 3 corners of both feet. And it's okay to have a bend in that front knee. And notice where the neck wants to be. Good. And the chest, we're trying to spread and open the chest to the side without causing compression in the neck. Good. Keep breathing. Now, can you bring your hand to your hip and cat and cow here? And noticing, so we're cat and cowing with the chest open to the left, which is kind of funky, right? So you're just trying to feel what that's like. It's more just happening through the tail. Notice how that changes the stretch in the legs. Good, and then leave it in your cow position. That means tail up position, and then fold towards your front leg. You might have hands on both blocks here. Your front knee might need to bend. Let your neck go. Again, 3 corners of both feet. You can even cat and cow here too. Good. Now let's bend the front knee. So I'm gonna, on this side, let's get the feet set up a little better for everybody. So what we'll do is start to walk your left foot towards your right block. So it's coming towards that side, and put your left forearm on your thigh and your right hand can row up towards your right ribs. And then it can stay on your hip or it can reach along your ear. You can walk your right leg back further if you want to. So that left foot is, the more you move it toward this long edge of your mat that you're facing, the easier it might be on the hips. Not the back edge behind your back, but the front edge in front of your nose. Good. So you want to feel expansive, opening. Good. Keep breathing here. You can stay here, or you can choose to come into half moon. If you're choosing half moon, you're looking for your block. Your back hand can start on your hip. You start to bring your weight toward that front foot, and then rising up. Again, keep breathing, 360-degree breath. As you guys, and then looking towards that bottom hand again, bending the front knee and bringing that back leg down. And turn toward the front leg. You can find both blocks beneath hands, bend front knee. Inhale, plank pose, and exhale, either vinyasa, child's pose, or downward dog. Maybe take a sigh wherever you've chosen. Swiveling the hips a little bit. Now from here, we're going to come down onto our knees. We're going to take one block. Let's put it beneath the left hand. I'm going to try this 2 ways, okay? The first way is with your hand flat on the block, and I've just got my fingers kind of gripped around the edges, right? The second way will be heel of hand on front edge of block, so you're pushing into it. It feels a little different both ways, okay? So I just want you to try to explore both ways when we're in the pose, okay? I'm going to start with flat hand. Okay? Inhale in this funky tabletop, and exhale, funky downward dog. Just notice what it's like to have one hand on the block. What's it like through your shoulder, Of course, if you have any injuries, just adapting and doing what you need to. Okay. And now you can try heel of hand on block, kind of just press the block. You might need to move it forward, pressing the heel of the hand forward. Notice how that's different. Good. And now inhale, bending the knees, and let's exhale, move the block to the right hand. You can come down to the floor first or just do it from up here. Okay. And do both positions. So flat hand, fingers gripping around edges, noticing what that's like. It's a big opening through the shoulder, right? So doing what you need to. And then trying heel of hand, pressing into front edge of block. There's a little push happening there. Good. Good. And now let's bend the knees, come down. Got to come down for this one because we're going to put our block beneath our right foot. Okay, so hands on floor. And to get on it, I just put it on there. There's no specific way. Okay, so I'm just going to lift up. My toes are tucked into it. And then pressing, you might need to walk your hands to a different position. And noticing how that feels. Keep breathing. Let your neck relax. Good. And then exhale, bend the knees. You can step off of it and move it over to the other one, or you can come down and set it up, or works better for you. Noticing how this side feels. I mean, for me, this just increases the calf stretch. I don't know about for you guys. You might feel all sorts of things. You might feel stuff through the hips. Good. And then coming down, I think you probably know where we're going now. We're going to, or maybe you don't, we're going to do hand, opposite hand and foot. So let's keep the same foot. So let's keep left foot, right hand. Okay, just so I don't mess up the talking too badly. Okay, so now I'm going to come up. Same thing. Okay, now if this is too much, you can do knee, you can do the tabletop one, right? You don't have to do down dog. Okay, so here we go. Ooh, isn't that interesting? Ah, those diagonal lines, right? Now, what do you think? Could you take your left arm and extend it out to the left? So instead of forward, out to the side, like an airplane arm. And for me, I like heel of hand on block for this next move. So I moved my heel of hand to the block. I'm going to put with my leg too. Woo. Keep breathing. Again, remember, just enough challenge. So if this is too much challenge, revert back, okay? So you don't get a kink in your neck or clench. Keep breathing. You can even look forward if it's helpful. And then coming down. Yeah, it's working on balance and it's working on core stability, obviously shoulder stability as well, right? So it's hard, right? So if it's hard to do, that's normal, right? Giving yourself just what you need. And then let's come down and switch. Okay, now remember, you can go back to this. So, right, you could go back to this instead because this tabletop version is creating that same core stability. So if this one is like way out of your league today, do the other one. Okay, it'll help get there. All right, here we go. Whenever you're ready, left hand, right foot, try out the funky down dog. Or you might try out the funky one and then go to tabletop. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready, you could try just the right arm. So just try one thing at a time. Okay? That way you can see where things start to change. Right? And you could also try just the leg too, right? So the right hand can come down and you do just the leg. You don't have to go right to both. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready, coming on down. Nice work, everybody. can get those blocks out of the way and go to any pose you want to be in. So it could be going through a vinyasa, it could be child's, it could be down dog, it could be anything. Let's take 4 more slow breaths in whatever you've chosen to be in, or you can choose a different position as well. And just noticing whatever you've chosen, noticing the 3-dimensional breath. Okay, good. And letting any areas of constriction, see if you can let them soften a little bit. All right, and when you're ready, let's meet in tabletop. Good. Let's protract the shoulder blade. So that's widening without rounding. So not rounding your spine. See the difference between rounding and protracting, right? It's wide, good. Now that's a really stable shoulder position, okay? So now let's just walk the knees back. So you're in a knees down plank. Tuck the tail as you walk the knees back, right? And keep that shoulder protraction. Keep tucking that tail. There you go. Okay, now you could stay here and work this kind of rotation. You see what I'm doing? I might need knee padding actually if I were going to be doing this version. I'm going to do a version with my knees off the floor. Okay, so you can be here, knees on the floor, tail tucked. I would pad my knees and rotate, working on my core. Don't let this hang, right? Yes, okay. Or you're in plank with knees up and I'm doing that with my feet. So I'm rotating, but I'm trying to keep, if I'm doing this one, I'm keeping everything facing the floor as I do it. Good, keep breathing, keep the protraction of your shoulder blades. Just try to feel what's moving here. Okay, now you could, when you rotate heels to the right, you could come up into side plank. Now it could always be here, right? And if you're doing the knees down version, it could be a knees down, right? Okay, good, breathing. And then exhale, hands down, inhale, and exhale, shift heels to the left. Good, and just try that a few times, back and forth. If it's too much, put your knee down so that you're not overstraining your shoulders or your wrists. Okay. Work where you should be today for your own body. Good, you guys. Now you can hold a side plank if you want to. You could stack the feet like I'm showing here. I've got my feet in ankles and dorsiflexion and I've stacked them. It's a little trickier though than one foot in front of the other. So decide, okay, play around with it, keep breathing and move through this at your own pace. You can hold for about 4 to 5 breaths and switch sides, taking a break whenever you need to. Good, and then as you're ready, coming down, you might move through a vinyasa if you'd like. It can be a knees down, very relaxed vinyasa, or a stronger core vinyasa, however you want to do it. Good. And then finding your way to downward facing dog. You could also be in tabletop if you prefer. No blocks for this one. Okay. Just going to inhale and lift your right leg up a little or a lot. And now let's turn our chest, our torso, let's rotate to look under the right side, to the right side. And maybe even bend the right knee, but trying to keep it high. Good. If it doesn't feel good on your neck, move your neck to adjust. Good. And now let's close the chest and hip, bringing it back down. Might need a break between sides, so take it if you need it. Or you can go right into the other side if you'd like, lifting your left leg up. And then starting to turn your hip and your chest to the left. And maybe even bending the top knee, but keeping the knee high as you do that. Good. Keep breathing. Nice. And then you can bring it back and place it down. Good. Dropping down to knees. Let's come into puppy dog pose, stretching the arms forward. Hips are high. And then from here, bringing hands back to lift chest up. We're going to sit on our heels. So most or many will need at least one, maybe two blocks, maybe blankets to have no knee pain. If you have no knee pain later, even when you sit on your heels, you could sit on your heels, of course. Okay. Just inhale, staying up tall. You can let your eyes close if you'd like. And exhale. Let's get a sense of your 360-degree breath all around your torso. And then can you get a sense of growing a little bit taller through the top of your head, like you're being lifted up by the top of your head as your shoulders relax. Good. And you can inhale, opening arms wide. And exhale, let's wrap the right arm on top of the left and either give yourself a hug or you can do eagle arms if it doesn't cause too compression or pain. Okay, good. And then inhale, if you're in eagle arms, you're squeezing the elbows in toward the midline and breathing into the upper back as you relax the area around the neck. You can even move your head around if you want. A couple more breaths there. And then let's inhale, open up the arms again. And exhale, left on top of right, either for a hug or for eagle arms. And hear the sound of your breath lengthening your exhale. Good, and then inhale, opening up. Good, exhale, arms coming down. Let's come off of your blocks if you're on them. And you can always sit on a blanket for this next piece. In a bend, left leg straight, right leg bends. And inhale, sit up tall. You can draw that foot in just as much as it feels okay, that right foot. Exhale, good. Inhale again. And then exhale, just holding that right knee in the arm. And you can let's do this time. Let's let that right hip step back. You know how we walked on our butts earlier? Same idea. Step it back. Your right fingertips come into the floor behind. And if you want to, you could always bring that left arm long inside or on the outside of the other leg. But just notice if that creates compression in your chest when you do that. I don't want compression in the chest. I want to still feel open. Okay. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And now slowly unwinding back to the front. Let's switch. Left knee comes in, can draw it in as close as it feels okay. Inhale, sit up tall, and exhale, left fingertips go behind. If you're trying to do the arm thing, it helps to get really long by stretching right arm up, and then exhale, arm comes inside or outside leg. When I do this, I'm trying not to get into this position, right? I'm only doing the arm like this if I can stay open. Otherwise, I'm hugging. Okay, keep breathing. One more breaths there. And then gently unwind as you're ready. And just straighten both legs out now, out in front of you. Good. Now you could sit up tall in Dandasana, staff pose, with your arms at your sides, sitting up like just a straight L, or you might feel like you want to fold forward. And if that feels good to you, then go ahead and fold forward. Good. Following your breath in and out, not forcing anything. And we'll slowly come up if you're folded. And we're going to come onto our backs. And I brought people bolsters. If you're at home and you don't have anything like a bolster, you could use your block for this. And come into supported bridge pose when you're ready. Okay, so I'm going to come onto my back with nothing below my head and lift my hips and slide the bolster beneath my hips. If you need to put any layers on, you might want to do that first. It's getting a slight inversion here with your chest up a little bit higher than your head. And you can do anything you want with your legs. They can stay bent in bridge. They could straighten or anything, go up. You know, feel what your body would like right now. And continue to lengthen your exhale. You start to lengthen your exhale a little bit further now. And you can either stay with supported bridge, or you might feel like you're ready to lift your hips off the bolster and bring them down. I'm just going to slide my bolster beneath my knees, but you could choose any other restorative pose or shavasana. Pad your head and neck, or Cover your eyes. And then taking a sigh wherever you are. Letting yourself settle. Now, can you feel as though you are sinking a little bit deeper into the surface below you? And you can let go of your breath control, just sighing out the mouth. Letting your ankles relax if you can, and inviting a sense of softness all the way up through your legs to your inner thighs and hips. And then inviting softness around your eyes, your forehead, and your face, your jaw and your tongue, your throat. And again, sinking a little bit deeper into the surface below you. Inviting that softness into your chest and belly, your hips and pelvic floor. And down your arms and hands. And sinking again with gravity down toward the floor, down into the floor below you. And noticing how you're feeling right now, how your nervous system is feeling, your mind, your body, emotionally. And maybe even inviting in an intention for your day based on how you're feeling, how you want to approach the rest of your day today. And you can either stay where you are, or invite movement back when you're ready to, gentle movement. And I will close our practice with the sound of Om. You're welcome to stay where you are or to join me. Just honoring the long lineage of teachers of the practice of yoga originating in India, kind of recognizing that as we practice this kind of westernized form of yoga, its roots and where it comes from, and the intention of spreading a sense of peace and enlightenment. Oh, and to inhale and then make the sound of Om. Inhaling. Om. Thank you. Peace. Shanti, shanti, shanti.